Hello there, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another fun hair video. No, today I don't have some strange odd color wrapped up in this towel. If you're wondering what that's about, I'll link that video up here. But today's video is going to be a battle of hair products. I'm going to be testing side by side the authentic Kenra 25 volume hairspray and the 30 next to its generic counterpart that so many of you have said you love. This is found at Sally's Beauty Supply. But also at Sally's Beauty Supply, I found that there is a generic version of the Dry Texture Spray from Kenra. So I'm going to take my hair out of the towel, I'm going to dry my hair, and then we're going to put these products in and we're going to see which one is the winner. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Now let's get started. All right, as I comb through my hair, the only product I'm going to put in wet is the RAKUTEN 25 United, just for a little extra conditioning and heat protectant. But I am not going to put in any root spray because I want to see really if there is a difference that either of these products add to the hair, and then we'll go in with hairspray. So let's go ahead and get our hair dried and then we'll put these products in. Give you a quick look at the back, and this is where we're going to really do some tests with our texture spray. I normally use a root lifting spray, which is Catwalk Root Boost is my absolute favorite. And so some of you have questioned whether it's just good haircut, or if it's that product. And yes, I have good hair. Yes, I have a lot of it, and I have a good haircut. But I think if you've watched any of my hair tutorials, you can see a difference in how having that product in there does add extra volume and lift after it's dried. Right now it's very soft, movable, and I don't have any hold or anything here at the crown. So I'm just going to put straighten a few little bits of hair out here. I'm going the opposite direction today because I just want to give these hairsprays a little extra work to do today. Okay, so just took that through. It really didn't change a whole lot, just straightened out a few pieces. All right, on the, let's do the right side here. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of the generic. This says volume building, oil control and finishing spray. And it says compare it to the Kenra Dry Texture Spray. And it says fine mist matte finishing spray. This does say to apply evenly through dry hair from roots to ends to add fullness and texture. After styling, you can reapply for a flexible hold with a matte finish. And the instructions on here are very similar. So basically it is supposed to add texture, body, hold, all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna add a little bit just through here. And then I'm going to add a little through here. And again, I haven't added any of my Enjoy Dry Wax or anything yet. And so we're just going to, okay, I'm gonna actually go forward here. And we're gonna see what kind of texture, hold, volume it adds. Now on the other side, I'm gonna use the Kenra Dry Texture Spray. And trying to use the same amount. I will say the Kenra smells better. The generic version isn't too bad, but okay. right, so here is the Kenra. It's still drying. I think the Kenra takes maybe a little longer to dry than the generic. So now that it's, let's see, is it dry? Now the Kenra does take a little longer dry time. All right, let's just take a look at the back. You get to see first. Okay, let me take a look now. Okay, I feel like the Kenra side fluffed up a little more, but let me give it another go. I'm gonna go with the generic here on this side. Let's just give it a little more, you know, oomph there. On the front section, do we see a difference? The feel on the hair is pretty similar. So I don't really feel like there's a big difference there. And as far as the matte finish or shine or anything, I do feel like it looks pretty much the same. So let's just see if we hold up the hair. I don't really see a big difference there. Really on just initial feeling and using these products separately in the hair, I feel like these are very, very similar products. The only main difference that I can tell right away is the scent. And I do prefer the Kenra scent better. I think in general, they have really good scented products. But overall in the hair, they feel pretty much the same. The Kenra, there may be a little more grit in the hair than the generic version, but I think side-by-side comparison, there isn't a big difference. Let me do one last test now here. I'm just going to add a little there at the root, and then let's do a test here. I'm gonna end up with really crazy looking hair today. All right, let's see. And keep in mind, these are dry texture sprays. These are not finishing hairsprays. Let's see. All right, that's still taking a little time to finish drying. Yeah, I feel like in this scenario, unless the scent is a huge drawback for you, I think the generic wins out, especially for price, because this little travel size is about the same price as this full size. This is 5.3 ounces and this is 1.5 ounces. So when it comes to the dry texture spray, I think the generic is the winner. So let's get to the hairspray. I'll be honest, I have had the volume 25 hairspray for actually a couple of years. I tried this way back when. There was, I think, a YouTuber who raved about it. My mom loved it. I thought, I'm sure I'm gonna love it. And I just didn't think it held my hair. Well, that was when my hair was longer in the back. So many of you in Aussie Instant Freeze changed the formula. You said, this is my favorite, you gotta try it. I also had people tell me about the 30. So I bought the 30, I've been testing them, and then of course the generic. All right, let's keep things the same. On the right side, I'm going to use the generic version, and we're gonna do our stand-up test, but we're also going to do a blow dry test because I really want to see there is quite a difference in price, and I want to know for myself once and for all, which is better. All right, I'm gonna hold this up. I've got a section of hair here that does not have the texture spray in it. I'm gonna use the generic, and we're gonna 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're gonna let it kind of sit on there and dry. And then let's see, because I have 2 Kenras to test out, let's try like side by side. This section should be about the same length. Let's go side by side. Let's go the 25. So this is the Kenra 25. So I have that section, and 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't think I got enough. Let's see, I'm trying. The mist, oh, whoa, okay. I don't think I hardly got any on there. Okay, hold on. Okay, the mist on the Kenra 25 is much finer. We're already falling down. The generic is still holding strong. Okay. The generic though is still wet. Just a little note. The Kenra is dry, but it's falling fast. Okay, I'm not gonna touch that. All right, and now we're gonna go over here, find another section, and let's do this right here. Okay, let's go in with 30. This is supposed to be ultra freeze spray, so this should really hold 1, 2, 3. Oops, I didn't hold it, did I? 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. It's still pretty wet. Let's see. Okay, we're just trying to let that dry, right? Okay, generic is dry, it's holding. 25 is dry, we have no hold. 30 is still wet. Okay, I probably didn't need 3 sprays of the volume 30. So we may give that one another shot on another piece of hair. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we'll do one more section just to see. Okay, this is volume 30. I'll do 30 first. We'll work our way backwards. Yeah, I feel like that only needs 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we've got volume 25. Oh, Enjoy Dry Wax is really gonna have its work cut out for it today, isn't it? Because I've got some crazy hair right now. Okay, we're gonna go volume 25 in the center. Let's just, well, that's, oh no, it just got stuck on here. All right, folks. 2, 3. Okay. And then I'm going to separate so that we get no overlap here. And, all right, let's go in with the generic. This is becoming a little more apparent a little quicker than I thought it might. So, all right, I'm gonna let this sit for a second, completely dry. Okay, the 30 is dry, the 25 is dry, and actually the generic is dry. So based on this, we have number 1, number 2, number 3. Like this isn't even close. Okay, let me do a test of how they feel on the hair. I'm gonna test this one because we're gonna do a little hair dryer. So the 30 feels pretty crunchy. That's the one I probably used a little too much here at the roots, but as I'm combing it through, like I can still feel crunchiness here in this back section. So definitely adds a little more, probably your hair's gonna feel a little dirtier with this one. Okay, number 25, this back section, it does have some crunch to it. Like I can tell there is hairspray on there, but again, it did not hold that hair in place at all. It did add a little grit to the hair. It doesn't feel as dirty as the 30, that rhymed. Now this section, I'm gonna just comb out part of this. I do feel like this generic one does make the hair feel dirtier. So I think that maybe those who love Kenra 25 are those who love to go maybe 3-4 days without washing. And so you only need light hold and you like that it doesn't make your hair feel as dirty. But combing through a few times, that generic version, I feel like a bunch of the hairspray is out. The hair does feel a little gritty, a little dirtier than this. It's probably pretty comparable to the Kenra 30. Okay, now final test is I'm just gonna take my blow dryer and I'm gonna simulate being outside, right? So this hair dryer uses very forceful air on the first 2 settings. So I'm gonna go on, let's go on the fast speed setting. I'm gonna blow this way and then we'll blow this way and we'll see what it does to these 3 sections. Now, even I mean, it did, you know, kind of move this section around. Look at that. It is still, this would be a simulation of if you went in the store and blew your hair and you just kind of worked it back, it is going back to where it was. This front section is a little less hold right there, but this section is still holding strong. Right here, again, I have more grittiness on this 30 section than the 25, and there's a little texture there, but there is not any hold. So let's go ahead. I'm going to comb this out and let's finish styling my hair with the clear winner. All right, I'm going to use the generic texture spray here. And again, the scent on this is not terrible. It's just the Kenra one is slightly better. But I mean, look at the nice little bit of texture that adds. I think it's nice. And actually, I really don't feel like it makes it look matte. I am gonna use a little bit of Enjoy Dry Wax. Not much, let's just use a tiny little bit because I do want to kind of finish up with how this hairspray works in conjunction with Enjoy Dry Wax. All right, going in with the generic. In the back, I'm going to add a little bit of Enjoy Dry Wax just to help with my cowlick there. Decided I want this front section over just a little bit. Over here, I'm just pushing this up and you can see it just kind of adds a little something extra, something fun. All right, here's our finished look. And I think after today's side-by-side comparison, it's pretty obvious which ones are the winners, and they are the generic versions of the volumizing spray and the dry texture spray. I have tested all of these individually, as I mentioned earlier, but never side by side, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised and shocked at how much different the generic performed over the other two. Previously in my individual testing, I feel like the generic was similar in testing to the 30, but I wasn't quite sure. And today, I think it showed that it's even a smidge better than the 30. Now, as far as how much these cost, the generic version, I'll have to put across the screen exactly how much I paid, but I believe they're about half the price of the Kenra, the regular price of the Kenra hairspray. So if you've been somebody who's been wanting to try out the Kenra volume spray because you've heard amazing things, or you are a fan of the volume 25 from Kenra, I would be curious to hear from you what your testing reveals, if you agree with the results of today's video. Now, I'm sure many of you are asking, is this now Sharalee's favorite hairspray? Is this what has replaced her Aussie Instant Freeze hairspray? Oh, I'm gonna say not quite, but stay tuned because I'm going to do now a final wrap up of all of the hairsprays that I've tested out. I'm gonna be giving you my top 5 recommendations. I'm gonna pull out my old Aussie Instant Freeze hairspray and start doing comparisons. I'll record each one of those so that you can really see for yourself which one is the closest and then decide which one is going to become your new favorite. As always, check the description box down below. I will have links and a list of everything I used today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.